This is the spot. I tell you, right down here, all this is grown up now. We used to swim across there, man. I'm telling you. Used to climb down here. All this is messed all up. Used to be like a ledge that you could crawl down, climb down at an angle, go down that little sandbar down there and go across. Right there, when you go across that, somewhere where all them roots are, where we used to swim. Now I know they're not the same trees, but if you can imagine, let's see, can I point at a tree? I guess it's, oh, it's a small tree to the left. I mean, that looks exactly like the tree that was there years ago. I know that can't be because it's been over 40 years. But it was a tree just like that one, if not that one, it can't be that one, that there was a seat belt hanging down with a little piece of wood across it as a T-handle where you could get up on the cliff over there, climb up the roots, and swing out and let go, into the water. Some people get up there and they would jump out, which was fine. But some got up there and want to be brave and dive into the hole. Don't know what they were thinking because the water wasn't no more than about 10, 12 feet deep. Some people could do it, shallow dive, but I know of two that dove in. One lost his life. The other one was two boys down here with their dad. We kept saying, don't jump it, don't dive, don't dive. And he dove in anyway. Sure enough, broke his neck. And we all jumped in the water trying to find him. And we finally brought him through the sandbar. Somebody went all the way down this, which was dirt at the time, now it's paved. But just down, there's a hill where the bridge is. Used to be a clinic right there at the foot of the bridge. I guess that's where they used the phone at because we didn't have cell phones back then. So somebody had to use the phone somewhere. You got all these light poles down here with lights on them. They weren't here before. Like I said, all this was dirt. Like these rocks and dirt right here was always the same. That structure there won't here. Of course, the porta-john won't here. And any of the posts that you see sticking up that are cut off telephone poles, none of that stuff was here. It was plain Jane, Down there, they built a little extra stuff. I'll take you and see that too. But man, I'll tell you, this is over 40 years ago. Well, I'm 56 now. I was probably 15 at the time. We're coming out here. We'd walk the dike from way out on the other. That's Princeville on the other side of that dike. And we walked from Shallow on the other side of Princeville down this dike, come across the river bridge, then come down, walk down here to go swimming. We were kids, summertime, we did what we did. There were sand pits that we went swimming at, all kinds of stuff. But the dike, interesting story about that dike was built in about 1967 or 1968 by the Army Corps of Engineers. And I didn't realize that. I thought the dike was older than that. And the water level of the river here was a lot higher. And Rocky Mountain, the next town over, built a reservoir dam over there. And since then, that was in 71. Since then, the water's always looked like this. Unless we get, a lot of rain and they release some water out of the dam or whatnot. Or a hurricane flood or whatever. It just floods all the way up here, floods everything. But, yeah, that's a little history on this place. But there's a boat ramp down here to the left. I'll show you that. That years ago, 50s, early 60s or whatever, people come down here and put their boats in and go fishing and enjoy it recreationally. Till Rocky Mountain built the dam and that shut everything down. Can't get boats in here like that anymore. But there you go. Good old times. There's a little map. I don't know if you can see that with a poot. I guess that's, I don't know. You can see what it is. I think it's the map of the river. Then striped bass. Still get good fishing down here because it's before that dam. And I think this is the last dam from here out to the coast where you get them to come up. But, this is it. This is the old boat ramp. Now you got to imagine, these trees weren't this big that long ago. So if you paint you a little picture. Now this dirt area has always been like this. And I'm not sure about the poles, but I think they are older. Of course, the signs weren't up there at the time. But, yeah, years ago when I was a little boy, before the water got like it is, you'd see, cars with the boat trailers parked down here. But this is the original old boat ramp. Of course, the yellow poles aren't original. But the old walkway right here, I'm sure that's been replaced, but it did have one years ago. And that's definitely not original. This old boat ramp, this hill over here has been brought down. It was a little steeper. This is original boat ramp though, original concrete. It has never been redone that I'm aware of. But now you really can't, yeah, so that's not original. So it's got metal grates in it, which is pretty nice. I don't know when they redone that. It's been a long time, I bet. But now when you come down here, you're really only gonna put in, kayaks or a little John boat or something. It's just very, very, very shallow. You get out to one little area and you can see that one little area might have a little depth to it. But that's on around. This edge is slick. Very slick edge. You're gonna see me bust my butt here in a minute. But that's the sandbar I was just telling you about. And across right there is where we used to swim. Had a swing. I mean, a seatbelt swing, seatbelt coming down from it. Look, I just saw a fish jump. So yeah, it was either right in there that we swam at, or a little further down over here. It was across from that sandbar though. There ain't no way that tree I was showing you earlier is the original tree. It can't be. But this is the boat ramp. It's a little bit of an incline. Now back in the day, one car at a time, you had to back all the way down. So back in the day, you had to know how to back your car up or your truck to get your boat down in here. Can you imagine waiting on someone that can't back it down? Which I do understand. Back in the day, people were a little bit kinder. I remember, someone saying that if someone had trouble backing it down, they'd get out of the vehicle and let their friend or neighbor or someone that can back it better to back it on down and get the boat in the water so they can go enjoy themselves. But yeah, it's the boat ramp. In this green patch area right here, long time ago there was a concrete structure, and I think it was a pump station of some sort, and it was very old because it didn't have anything. It was just empty, nothing there, and they had it in a way where you couldn't climb up it. I'm telling you about that because it's just part of the history and you can't imagine what I'm talking about. But this is one end of the thing here where you can see part of it. They put all these posts up a long time ago. None of this stuff was here when they back in the day. But this road here, which was dirt, of course, this tree here is very famous. This tree is extremely old. But this takes you on around, and just around the corner it goes up a little bit to a road that's in the town. But this right here, so many rendezvous. If this tree could talk, I'm sure it could tell you some stories. Ain't no telling, a whole lot of things went on up under this tree. A whole lot of things. A long time ago, if any of you can imagine, if y'all done this, rode with your mom or dad or uncle or something when long in the day, but CB radios were very popular. And what they would do is you had a gauge, analog gauge on your CB radio, and that would tell you how close someone was to you if you key the mic. And that's what they did. They went to a secluded channel. Everybody went to one secluded channel, and they decided to just key their mics. They would go hide and seek with cars and CB radios. I remember coming down, it was me, my dad, and my mom, and my brother and all. We parked right here on the car, on my dad's car. It had a 72 Gran Torino, red with a black vinyl top. He had old Thunderbird hubcaps on it. Don't know why. But we come down and we sat there, and it was his turn to try to find people. So he sat there, keying his mic, they talking and everything. Drove on out, got up on the road, and the more they did it, you can see if you're getting closer to somebody. And I can't remember if we actually caught anybody or not. But it was a fun thing that they did back in the day. I'm riding on down here on what used to be dirt. It's all concrete. I mean, it's all pavement now. I'm riding down here to the other end. We're going to check that out. Got some new stuff to show you down here. Now, funny thing is, they built that, put picnic tables underneath it, aluminum, and daggone somebody, I think, come along and cut the bolts and took the aluminum picnic tables and sold them for scrap metal. I don't know if they really did that or not, but I think somebody told me they did. But this has always been grass over here, just growing wild. I mean, they didn't really cut it years ago, but it's like they started taking care of it a little better. That's the spot there I was telling you about. We used to walk down the hill to go swimming at the other side. Which time changes things. All this has grown up so much more than what it used to be. There's always a long sandbar. There was a big drainage pipe down in here somewhere. And it was a good fishing hole. Fish get kind of trapped in there. And but you could get up on that long sandbar and walk all down here. I mean, it's still the same way it was years ago. You could walk all the way down it. The sandbar hasn't changed. Yeah, it didn't have no lights down here back in the day. Tar River. Now, I didn't look up the history of tar, what Tar River has to do with anything. I know back in the day they had like horse and buggy or some type of boats. They used to trade. Used to do trade. This river used to be popular to trade from township to township. They just built this. This is supposed to be a fishing place to go fishing. It don't look like it's going to be a very good fishing location, which I just saw a fish break over there. I don't know who's the genius that come up with this. They literally got holes set here to put some pipe in. I mean, it's out here in the blazing hot sun. Well, this is the Tar River Bridge, of course. You go here, goes to Princeville. Everything changes. There's a railroad trestle down there. Yeah, it was dangerous, but sometimes we'd skip school and we'd come down there and hang around the trestle. It didn't happen that often, but we'd go mess around the trestle sometimes. Now, they had this roped off with some yellow tape to like not come down here. There's the yellow tape, but as you see, it's been torn down, and I don't like anybody's real busy to get this taken care of, get it finished. I mean, if all you got to do is put pipe in here, weld some pipe up, let's get it done. If you're going to build it, let's build it. Let's get it done. They built them steps over there. I guess you can see they just built that. Now, earlier in the conversation, I was telling you about a medical place that was a clinic. That building right there was the clinic. It was just a red brick building. And I think anybody could go there, but I think it was low income like that. I think most people that went there were low income, or either they were blacks from Princeville that went there. I ain't trying to put no racist stuff in here. I'm not doing nothing like that. But I'm just telling you the fact. I do remember going there one time. I do remember my mom taking me there one time. I think the regular clinic in town was busy or something, and something was wrong with me. I was sick, and she took me there. I remember the inside back in the day, everything looked like it was military. I remember going up the steps, the staircase. It was all steel staircase on the end, and I think they turned that into apartments. See the person come out, say I was gated? I think it's all apartments now. Anyway, which is pretty cool, I think. But, so I got off track. I remember going up the staircase, and it was a pretty wide staircase made out of steel. Even the railing was steel. And it's like the railing and stuff was like I don't know, it was green, right? It was a green color, but not army green. But the top half of the walls was that seafoam green. like it was two different colors. Seafoam green and then a shade darker. There's fish in here. Sit there and look long enough. Look, you probably can't see it. There's car tires down here. The car tires all down in there. They ought to come clean this place up if they're gonna make it out of a good fishing spot. I think it's cool they turned that old building into apartments though. They must have done some serious work to make it into apartments. But yeah, remember going up the staircase, went upstairs. I guess the doctor I went to see upstairs was upstairs, I guess. But I don't know what's wrong with me. I was a little bitty thing, little bitty boy. But I don't know what they're doing with this. Supposed to be some fishing. What I heard somebody say it was something for fishing. To come up here and go fishing. I don't know why so much money was spent on something for fishing. I got a bad feeling. Depends on how deep they dug this, how much concrete is in the ground. When we have a major flood, when I say major flood, it goes all the way up and floods all the Main Street, Tarboro, all that way. We had serious floods that flooded the building way up on the hill there. I mean, things were several feet underwater. When we have bad storms, this floods a lot down here. But speaking of that, is the water current gets faster when they floods, right? And all this can wash away, and this concrete could just be, you know, just nothing. Anyway, but there you go. And on down, I ride on down a little bit. There's some more of the poles sticking up. So those poles weren't there years ago. You could drive down here and just park under the bridge in the shade. You'd have all kinds of 2 or 3 cars parked down here. Some people that worked during the day, they drive down here for lunch and park under the bridge. Surprisingly, I don't see more graffiti than what's there. So that's cool. I mean, at least it's not all raggied up. Right on top of the hill that flag is, long time ago, there was a little gas station right on the end right there, a little garage, workshop, gas station. Of course, everything changes, comes apart. Anyway, there you go. I'm gonna pull back over here into the shade. But there you go. See all the way down to the end. We were way down there. Road closed. They shut this gate off when there's flooding. Some guys like to come down here before it gets too deep. Drive the trucks through here when it was muddy before they paved it. It was a little bit fun coming down here before it got too flooded. Then they put these gates up. No more coming down here when it's starting to flood. But it's the Tar River, Tarboro, North Carolina. Tarboro's just up that hill. Just up that hill is Tarboro.